Okay, we spent like an hour on TV show. I think it's time for the next one.
Yeah.
Alright, so what was your favorite toy?
Probably my Batman and Robin action figures. They were Batman toys with George Clooney's face. Only the bottom half, though.
That was perfect. I want one of those now.
Mom got rid of all of them.
Oh
No, because, okay, Batman, when I first became conscious of who Batman was, it was during a huge boom in marketing for Batman because Batman and Robin was coming out. And so both Batman and Robin and Batman the Animated Series paraphernalia was hot selling equipment. So all of the action figures that I started to love Batman just because he looked so cool. So I wanted to get as much Batman as, so I got paint by numbers and coloring books and puzzle books about Batman and Robin, which, by the way, they changed the designs of the characters from the movie to the coloring books, and the designs that they put in the coloring books looked a lot cooler than anything that showed up in the movie. And they had, and the designs for the coloring books were the designs that they used for the action figures. So I had Mr. Freeze, I had Poison Ivy, I had a Robin toy, I had dozens and dozens of Batman because they had all sorts of different power suits and stuff that you could wear. But they all had George Clooney's face because he was playing Batman at the time.
Yeah.
And none of the Batman the Animated Series toys at the time were actually all that interesting. The Batman, but the Batman and Robin toys were cool because it was like all furs and stuff.
Batman and Robin was the coolest. My cousin and I used to watch that nonstop.
Yeah.
Really. I'm trying to think.
It was a good time when we were small and all we knew was there were flashy colors on the screen. The only part of Batman and Robin I saw.
We recognized the giant you can everywhere.
Yes. Well, when I was a small child, the only scene that my parents, again, I was very sensitive. My parents were even more sensitive about me. The only scene I was allowed to see was the opening scene up until Robin comes out of the pool in the opening and says, "Did we get him?" And Batman's like, "You're such a disappointment." So, that's the only bit that I was able to see, and I wish they'd have let me see the rest of it because I wish that I could have seen it without the critical eye that I have as an adult. I still love that movie.
The 90s was a weird era for toys. I remember gel pens. I know they're not technically toys, but those were the hottest thing ever. I used to write all of my notes. Every line would be a different gel pen in school. My school was really advanced. We started taking notes in like first grade.
Of course yours is something writing or reading related.
Shut up. Don't judge my life. So we had those Pokemon cards. My school got them banned because people were fighting over Charizard.
Why Charizard? He's a lazy sucker.
I had a Lance Bass marionette from NSYNC. Lance Bass. He was my favorite. I liked the gay one. So I had that. That was pretty awesome. I also had Pokemon marbles. Anything Pokemon. I had a giant writing desk that I used to draw on. Oh, my little bike. I had a little pink bike with streamers on it. It was really cute. I like that too.
My sister had one of those bikes with streamers on.
Yeah, that was really cute. I don't think of anything else.
I remember when I was first learning to ride my bike, I would keep falling over and then scream for my parents to come and help me.
You pansy.
And then, well, at a certain point, I think it was like maybe the second or third time it happened, my dad just looked at me and just like, "Get up," and walked away.
Aww.
No, don't awe. It was exactly what I needed because I was going through a period at the time where I was falling and screaming for attention, so that they would help me. And I convinced myself in my head that I actually was like debilitatingly hurt, and they just got so sick of it. This ended because one day I was wrestling with my brother in the den, and we had an iron stove. And he kind of threw me away, and I turned around, put my hands out like this, and caught him on the stove, and my hands swelled up to balloon sizes, and I was screaming bloody murder for my mother to come, and she didn't, because she thought I was making it up.
The boy who cried wolf.
I was the boy who cried wolf, exactly. So after that day, which nothing against my mother, of course, because this was my fault, and I got healed up and everything. But after that day, I realized I better know what I'm talking about before I start screaming, because I don't want that to happen again.
My little brother did that too. I broke his foot once. I tripped him and it apparently broke his foot. But I didn't know because he started crying and I thought he was just crying because he was being a jerk like usual. But no, his foot was broken. Yeah.
Who defends this city?
Batman and Robin.
The Legend, the Dark Knight, the Bat unleashes an ambush attack.
Now show him the blade.
The jet blade spinning. Now that's hot.
I am
Batman. Batman and Robin vehicles and figures each sold separately. Be the man, Batman.